I have accidentally become a manufacturer. I didn't mean to, but somehow I Forest Gumped my way into manufacturing for a couple of businesses for a series of parts. And I guess my highest runner is a type of control knob, which I've spent the last like 7, 8 months producing probably $200, $300 worth a month. And one of my issues is I have a single point of failure. I have one printer that prints these knobs. So I found myself running up against deadlines with this single machine. There's been a couple of months where I've stayed up like all night that final day printing. I'm in production swing again. I have 70 knobs to complete by Monday, so that's 3 days to finish the remainder. The last two of this production run are finally printing. So I've got all of these, 50 in total for this run. So we had a mini catastrophe. Some bunny, some dumbass, was trying to clear a clog in his printer, and after I cleared it, okay, I did it, I put a tool with my fan on accident and busted the blades out of the fan. So you can get these from China in like 2 months on the slow boat. But what I did was instead of going with the exact part number, I just went the voltage and amps. And I ordered these from Uncle Jeff on Amazon. They came 2 days. It was great. The only problem is the 2-position plug wired opposite. So I had to get out the soldering iron, the heat gun, and some solder splices and switch them. But as you can see, it's running. I will dress this a little bit after I give a test print, but yeah, we're up and going. Test print is running. Now what I didn't mention is this cost me 5 days of production time and made me say dirty words. So I'm pretty stoked. My 19th early 20th century technology of printer is about to welcome a new friend. What is that? It is a new 3D printer that will sit side by side this one. So pretty pleased. So it's kind of a weird story with this. My Ender-3 was completely free. Not because I am sponsored by these folks, but because the place where I ordered it from, I originally ordered a Creality 10 Pro. And what I got instead was the Ender-3 Pro, or I guess just the Ender-3. And so I called them and said, hey, you sent me the wrong thing, and they were really sorry, and they refunded my money. And I said, okay, great. So where should I ship this to? And they're like, no, it's too much money to ship, so why don't you hang on to it? So I'm kind of embarrassed of the road miles on this bad boy, though. I mean, it went through China, Illinois, again, China, LAX maybe, and then from LAX it went to City of Industry, I don't know, some more Illinois before it finally made its way to Seattle. So just a second or two of the unboxing on this bad boy. Alright, let's put it together. So even with all those road miles, no obvious dents, dings, damage, that sort of thing. So, alright, I guess that's pitter patter. Let's get at her. Just in case you wanted to know what the brains of this bad boy look like, you got them right there. I am a champ at voiding warranties, let me tell you. Well, I am keeping the manual, as it were, and then some of the extra hardware. They did include a bunch of extra hardware, which I really appreciate. It's not extra because I didn't follow the directions. It's actually extra. And then there is a nozzle in there as well. But what I'm not keeping are these fine QC passed bits of kit and tooling. Those are definitely going to get recycled, but I will be keeping this. Installed and in place. Let's give her her maiden voyage. And oh shit. Well, looky there. Awesome. One of the parts that I've printed for the Ender is this this back panel, and it's for the PCB of the control panel. If you don't print this, then what happens is that this just hangs out there, and if you wrap a finger around, you could get into the PCB and give yourself a little shock and screw up your board. So the answer is print a cover for it. You touch it all you want. I'm printing a cooling fan cover for my new printer. It's Jeep themed. Final product. Oh, somebody had a print failure. So this is what that piece should have looked like. I really think this print's going to hit the 7-hour mark. This print was 7 hours and 2 minutes, and I decided to do an add-on case for the Ender printer and have a Raspberry Pi there attached to the printer instead of having a dedicated machine. So I thought this would be a nice, quick, simple solution, or not. Anyway, let me get it off here. There was carnage, but I finally got it clear. I did have to use a little bit of CA where I busted a layer, but that's okay. It just took me like 10 minutes with some tools. This is the Z-axis stabilizer and a bearing. I'll put that bearing in there. Do that. Alright, let's see. And pressed in, just perfect. So the Ender-3 here is doing a fine job on its very first print. First real print, not the setup prints. So let's see how it turns out. So it looks pretty good. I'll need to maybe do a little bit of a layer smush. The material is different than I usually print with. I mean, it's still PLA, but it's the gray instead of the black, which has a little different composite. So here's the black, so you see the difference. So overall, real happy with the printer. A few tweaks still left, and I think that with the same material, I'll be able to get the same results. I'm pretty happy with the Ender-3 build and setup, and how quick and easy it was to bring up to speed with the couple of extra things that I printed for it as add-ons. This by far is my favorite add-on, though. Not only for its usefulness to keep things out of the CPU fan, but also because it's Jeep themed. I have a few more things to add to this. Some of the other prints that I showed, the Z-axis screw stabilizer, I had mentioned the Raspberry Pi. I'm putting a Raspberry Pi on it, and then they'll be able to run Octoprint for the print server. And I'm going to put a Pi cam on it, and then a second webcam on, just because I guess I need two cameras. I'll show the installation of the other bits and bobs, as well as Octoprint and the Raspberry Pi with the next segment of this, or another segment of the build video. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it.